All right, so I'm here with Michael McCabe. He is the founder and CEO of SimpleCrew, which is a really cool app, totally bootstrapped. Mike was literally traveling the world for a couple of years while building his business. Mike?
Yeah, so we started Simple Crew about 7 years ago, and when we first built it, it was just me and a co-founder, and we haven't taken any investment. We've just been growing slowly, just doing the slow growth and building the product as we went along, and now we're looking to really turn up the volume and
Yeah.
accelerate our growth.
So we started working together. I think it was almost exactly a year ago. It's September, and I think that's the time we got in first contact. And since then, we've done the case studies. We did, complete overhaul of all the messaging, built an entirely new website, built out an email marketing funnel, did all the onboarding, and then the conversion optimization. And really, for both of us, at the core of this entire thing was the customer research, interviewing the best customers, asking them the right questions, and getting the insights that we need to really drive the whole marketing strategy forward. And, as the new site starts seeing more traffic, to convert more of that traffic into leads and sales, really like get them the value that the product offers, which is to, better track and manage the teams that they have going for them out in the field, really grow their business and expand into different geographic locations. So just briefly tell me a little bit about, what changed after we did all that customer research. Like, how clear did things become for you?
Yeah, well, I would say that doing the case studies and the customer interviews really was what made everything else easier, I would say. And so that's where we drew, all the important insights. And like you said, we interviewed our most successful customers. And the interesting thing is that while they're not all even in the same industry, they were all solving similar problems. They all spoke about the product in the same way. And they were all really successful in the same way in that they were able to expand their business into different geographical markets. And what I was really amazed about what came out of it was that they were saying the same things, even though we had one customer who's a secure window and door installer. On the other hand, we have a pretty successful festival who's grown from New Orleans to now promoting Buku Music Festival all over the U.S. and they've used the app in the same way, but you wouldn't really think that they were connected in any way. And so
it was crazy. No matter how deep we went into this, like as far as we dug, we started surfacing those same insights again and again and again. I think that's the fundamental thing we really got to the core of that message, and really excited to see what 2021 brings for SimpleCrew.
Yeah. And I think and something just to add about that is that now when we go and we're like, okay, we're going to make a landing page or write some copy or an email for you're like, oh yeah, this is going to take like no time at all because we've already done all that work up front. So we're just going back now. We're looking at quotes that we already have. We're looking at, all the information we already have, but now we're just reformatting it. And we're like, okay, we need an email for this. And we can just go back and look at that, what we've done before. And you're like, okay, you're like, oh yeah, Mike, this happens to be done. And we just talked about doing it like the day before, or even sometimes the day after. You're like, oh, I was just really motivated or in the zone or something, and you're like, this is done. So,
I like to think of it as a battery. It's like the research is the battery, and that's what powers everything going forward. So when you put in that effort up front, it makes everything easier in the long term.
Yeah, it takes some time, but it's an investment in kind of everything else that you're doing, including it's not just marketing, but we we informed our pitch decks that we most recently were building with, that we built out with all the
Yep.
information from the case studies, and even informs product as well. So you know,
Yep.
a lot of good stuff comes out of these customer interviews.
Yeah, and we went way deeper than the typical demographic data, the, you know, buyer personas that are more just like cardboard cutouts of what you think a customer is. You know, we really got to the heart of what customers are using SimpleCrew for, and like what goal they're trying to accomplish, what outcome they're looking for. So yeah, man, thanks a lot.
Yeah, happy to.